Hey, stress busters. All of us have this picture inside of our mind that we title the perfect Christmas. And whether you mean to or not, there's this image that it's our preconceived ideas and desires of what would make the perfect Christmas or a dreamy Christmas. And if you watch Hallmark Christmas movies, which I love to do, they would tell you the perfect Christmas is going to include snowball fights, ice skating, building a gingerbread house. But for each of us, we all have different ideas of what would make this perfect Christmas. So I've got two questions for you. One is, does your perfect Christmas include an image that looks peaceful, calm, and joy-filled? Or does your perfect Christmas image look like energy sucking, chaotic, and stress filled? And then, two, does your Christmas usually look like your perfect Christmas image? And I'm betting that I can guess what your answers are already. That of course your Christmas perfect picture looks peaceful and calm and joy filled. And no, it rarely, if ever, really, it never looks like my perfect Christmas. So let me guess, your actual normal Christmas looks more like this. You stay up till 2 a.m. putting together that toy that you bought for your child that has a million pieces. I'm thinking of the year that my dad and my husband stayed up really late to put together this racing track for the boys. It was huge and took up a lot of the basement. And it just took so long, so much longer than you think it's going to. Or does your normal Christmas look like you forgetting to take the plastic wrap off of the top of your homemade rolls before you pop them in the oven because things are just so chaotic and stress filled, like I did? And that, of course, totally ruins your rolls. Or does your normal Christmas look like you being embarrassed at what you had to buy because you just didn't have any money, and like for the gifts for your parents, you're just totally even embarrassed to give them those gifts? Well, I've been there for all of those. The actual Christmas didn't measure up to that perfect Christmas image that I had in my mind. And a stressful holiday season, because I am thinking of like from Thanksgiving all the way through the New Year is the holiday season for me. So it's not just that Christmas day, but a stressful holiday season is one in which the holidays don't meet your expectations and your desires or that perfect Christmas picture. And so today I want to help bust through some of that stress by giving you these 6 ways to have the perfect Christmas. Okay, so number one, create some awe and wonder. I mean, nothing says awe and wonder to me like Christmas. You picture that Christmas morning of just the kids coming down with the lights on and presents and awe. But of course, we want it to include things like consider anew that Jesus came to earth as a baby to rescue you. Look at that Christmas story new and afresh. And maybe what did he give up but by leaving heaven to come and to rescue us? Or look up at the sky and the stars that are out there some dark night and think about what it would have been like to be the shepherds when the sky was filled with angels and they came to make this big announcement that Jesus had been born to bring peace to earth, peace between God and man, to restore that. How awesome and incredible that really would have been. Or maybe look at a baby and think about, I wonder what Jesus looked like as a baby. And I think it's amazing how nobody really knew what he came to earth to accomplish. And yet, for thousands of years, this was in the making through prophecy, and it was fulfilled exactly. Let's get some awe and some wonder at these kinds of stories again. Now, this practice of going bigger, going deeper, seeing the spiritual side of all aspects of Christmas, this is the 12th foundational step that I teach in my 90-day stress detox, and it's going to help you to bust through your stress. So, what can you do to create awe and wonder this Christmas season for yourself, for your kids, for your grandkids? What is it that will make your jaw drop open, your eyes pop open, and your heart be filled with joy? We don't want to let the Christmas story be too familiar to us. We want to have awe and wonder. Now, number two, make a list of what it is that you want to do this Christmas season. What is it that makes Christmas feel like Christmas for you? The idea here is that you want to be in control. You don't want to just keep doing the same old things that you do every year. You don't want to get to the end of the holiday season, get to New Year's, the end of the holiday, and be in regret again that it just whipped by, that you didn't do what you wanted. It didn't feel very Christmassy this year. I don't want you to be so busy doing the things you feel you have to do that you never get to do the things that you would truly enjoy about Christmas. So you might want to think back to when you were a child and some of the traditions that you had. What might you like to bring back into your life? I remember Christmas would be a time when we'd go to a local chocolate shop and they had these really thick cinnamon candy canes. And we only got them once a year. They're very special. Something like that that can help make this feel like this is Christmassy. This was fun. I enjoyed this Christmas. Are there some traditions that you want to start? Maybe you've always wanted to read the Christmas story around the Christmas tree on Christmas Eve. Maybe you want to do those pictures that you see other families doing of matching pajamas. Well, why not do that this year? So I want you to say, how would you complete this sentence? It just won't feel like Christmas without doing blank. Fill in the blank. What is it for you? It just won't feel like Christmas without doing, and then come up with a list of a few things that you would fill in the blank with, maybe get your family involved, and then plan it out to do those things. Don't let other things keep you busy and pushing out what would really be important and enjoyable for you. You want to know what those things are, and then you want to do them. You don't want to get to the end of the holiday season where, well, let me say it this way. You will get to the end of the holiday season and there will be some things that you weren't able to get done, but you won't be living in regret about the holiday. Another year went by and it wasn't that great. It was hectic. I didn't enjoy Christmas, because you got the things done that you would have really enjoyed and that would make it feel like Christmas for you. All right, number 3, decide what needs to go, because you're not superhuman. I'm not superhuman. We can't do everything. So do you really need to spend the time and the money mailing out 100 Christmas cards? Now, I want you to ask yourself, and if you say, yeah, that's what is really Christmas for me, that's what's going to make it feel like Christmas, then go ahead and do that. Have that on your list. But if that's not what Christmas would be for you, and you're just doing it because you've always done it, or you feel like people are expecting to receive a card from you, toss it. Get rid of it. Do you need to make 12 different kinds of cookies, or would 4 be enough? Or could you hop on Facebook and ask a bunch of your local friends if they'd like to do a cookie exchange with you, where each of you only has to make one kind of cookie, and then you exchange and you end up with more? Do you need to decorate every room in your house? Or is this just putting pressure on you? Do you need to attend every party that you're invited to? Do you need to buy a present for the mailman? Sorry, mailman, he might need to be cut. We're looking at what will help to bust through your stress. Okay, so number 4, plan at least one thing that you can do for someone else. This is one of the basics of stress busting, that you need to get your eyes off of yourself and your own stressful situation. You might be stressed out because you're lonely for the holidays, or you don't have the money for the holidays, or you have too much to do for the holidays. Whatever it is, we need to get our eyes off of ourselves and we need to do something for other people. A perfect Christmas is one in which you bring the love of Christ to someone else. So you could show God's love by shoveling a neighbor's driveway. Think of an elderly person, a person who just had surgery, a single mom. How about buying a toy for your local charity? I love Toys for Tots, or giving food to the local food pantry. But I'm also talking about, how about let's just be gracious and patient when we're out shopping, because many of those other shoppers are going to be just stressed as you are in the hustle and bustle, the long lines. And we know that people are really going through things. They were going through things before this season in our life, and they're going through even more now. So we could be the light of the world and be that gracious, patient person to those who are going through those tough times. Could you invite someone to Christmas dinner that would otherwise eat alone? One year I was so busy that I wasn't able to make Christmas cookies, which is kind of a tradition in our house. And so my mom jumped in and made me a bunch of cookies that I could have to eat and enjoy and to serve. I so appreciated it. One year, if you've heard my story, we had huge financial problems for years. One year, we couldn't afford to get our kids any presents. 3 kids, no presents. And so a few different people jumped in, especially our parents, and bought extra things that we could give to our children. And so they came through big time. So think about how you can get your eyes off of yourself and your own stressful situation and something you can do to care for others. You'll be amazed at how great this is going to make your Christmas be. All right, number 5, keep it simple. Where did you get your ideas of this picture of the perfect Christmas, especially when it comes to decorating? Did you get it from HGTV? Did you get it from Pinterest, or maybe even a friend's house? Because I got to tell you, most people don't live like that, and that's okay. And you don't have to have a million lights outside. It's not like you're in a competition. You don't have to have a dining room table that's set with china and chargers and cloth napkins to make it perfect. Sure, those things are beautiful. And if you really enjoy them, that would make it Christmas for you. If you have the money and the time and the energy, go ahead and do that. But I want you to really ask yourself, is that what I want out of Christmas? Is that the perfect Christmas for me? Or am I just doing that because I feel I have to impress other people because it's always been done? The people sitting around your table at Christmas will be so much more impacted by the words of life that you can give them than they will by your table settings. And your words will live on forever. Your table setting won't. So I think it's important also to think about what season of life that you're in. If you're a mom with toddlers where it's pretty much hands on deck 24/7, they can't be left alone, you're not going to be able to have the time, the money, the energy, most likely, that, let's say, an empty nester mom would be. So make sure you're not comparing yourself to someone in a different season of life, and just realize that your time will come, but don't waste this time not enjoying where you currently are. Don't always be wishing to be at a different stage in your life. And then ask yourself, what are your motivations for doing this? Again, if that's what you love about Christmas, if that's what would make it Christmas for you, you have the time, money, and energy, then go for it. But if it's going to be stressful for you, if it's going to drain you and suck the joy out of you, you got to skip it. Okay, the 6th idea is go old-fashioned. You don't want to follow the modern world's values and their trends. Make homemade gifts, string some popcorn for the tree, play the Christmas classics. I mean, they just don't make Christmas music like they used to. Am I right? Find out where you can go for a horse-drawn carriage ride in your town. Drive around looking at the lights. Make paper snowflakes. Pull out old family Christmas pictures. Roast some chestnuts. Sing Silent Night by candlelight. Wrap a present in newspaper. I mean, just think about, what is it for you that's going to make it really Christmassy? There's just something comforting and stress relieving about the nostalgia of an old-fashioned Christmas. It's a slower paced world. It's less commercialism. There's romance to it. And it was, after all, that for love that Jesus came to the earth to rescue us. And he defeated the enemy, and now he allows us to live light and free. So lastly, I just want to say that there really is no perfect day or season for Christmas, and we don't want to set up the wrong expectations. That would just put more pressure on yourself, right? The exact opposite of what we're trying to do. But what I would like you to do is to consider what it is that would make you get closer to your perfect idea of Christmas. And then don't just keep doing the same old things, but expecting different results. Do something different this year. Don't just try to please other people and end up frazzled and stressed. So really, I could summarize it like this. Stop trying to make it perfect by overbuying, overdoing, overexpecting, and it'll be so much closer to actually being that quiet, calm kind of perfect that you always wanted. So pick one or two things out of this list of 6 that I mentioned that you want to try out this year so that you can have a less stressed holiday season. And then I'd love for you to share what it is that you implement, or if you have other ideas that will help us to have a stress free holiday. We'll see you later. Bye.